Imagine you are a princess living in a giant castle with golden gates and beautiful gardens. From the outside, your life looks like a perfect fairy tale. You have the fancy dresses, the sparkly crowns, and a handsome husband who is a real-life count. People all over the world look at your photos and think you must be the happiest person on earth. But what if there were dark shadows hiding behind those palace walls? What if your husband had secrets that no one was supposed to find out? What if the man you chose had a past that was messy and full of broken hearts? Today, we are going to look behind the heavy velvet curtains of the royal family. We are going to talk about Princess Beatrice and her husband, Edoardo. For a long time, everything looked perfect. But lately, people have been whispering. They are asking questions that no one expected to hear. Is their love story as happy as it looks in the news? Or is there a secret story that they are trying very hard to hide from us? Put on your seatbelts, because we are going on a journey to find the truth about a royal romance that is much more complicated than any storybook. There is some very big royal news that we need to share with you today. This is the kind of news that might make you feel surprised, or it might even make you smile. It is all about Princess Beatrice. People who have followed her closely for a long time were very shocked recently. They started hearing some troubling talk about her husband, Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi. These stories began to spread everywhere, and they made people ask questions that no one ever expected. At first, it just seemed like mean gossip. But behind the scenes, it looked like much bigger problems were happening. Secrets that were hidden for a long time were slowly starting to come out. Private family things were suddenly being talked about by everyone in public. How did things change so fast? What kind of secrets are hiding underneath this surprising royal story? Do you think Edoardo is hiding something, or is this just another royal scandal? Let us know what you think by typing yes or no in the comments. To help us make more videos and find the truth, please subscribe so more people can see this. Let's talk about the hidden breakup. Long before Princess Beatrice was in his life, Edoardo was building a steady and good life with another woman named Dara Huang. This was not just a short relationship. Dara was a very smart woman who studied at Harvard. She was a very talented architect who designed beautiful buildings. She even started her own successful company all by herself. From the outside, Edoardo and Dara looked like a very strong couple. They were committed to a future together and were even engaged to be married. Everyone thought they would stay together forever. But deep down, things were starting to break. Something happened that usually brings people closer together. Dara became pregnant. For most couples, having a baby brings joy and unity. But for them, it seemed to do the opposite. It showed how far apart they were growing. People close to them said there was a lot of tension. Behind closed doors, they would go for weeks without even saying hello to each other. Imagine how hard that was for Dara, carrying a child in total silence. She tried to hold things together for the sake of their future. But one night they had a huge argument. Something mean was said that could not be taken back. Dara reached her limit and told him he could leave if he wanted to. She was tired of begging for a broken relationship. She was ready to raise her child alone. In the days after, her eyes were red from crying for months. After that night, everything changed. But to the world, they still pretended to be a happy couple. In 2016, their son Wolfie was born into this fragile situation. Strangely, the story got even more confusing. In 2017, Edoardo and Dara were still seen together in public. They smiled for photos and acted like a happy couple. But by 2018, they had quietly ended their relationship. Just a few months later, Edoardo was seen with Princess Beatrice. People wondered when their romance truly started. Did it happen after the engagement ended, or was something happening before things fell apart with Dara? Let's look at Edoardo's past to find the truth. In 2011, Edoardo got a phone call that changed his life. His stepfather, Christopher Shale, died at a huge music festival called Glastonbury. It was a very public death because Christopher was a famous political figure. Just days before, he had been in the news for writing a mean letter about his own political party. When he died, the whole country was watching. This taught Edoardo how to stay strong and keep secrets even when the cameras were on him. Edoardo was born in 1983 at a very fancy hospital where royal babies are born. His father was an Olympic skier from Italy who later sold expensive art. Edoardo grew up in a wealthy world. He is called a count, which is a special title from Italy. But that title has a dark history. The king who gave the title to his family later signed laws that hurt many people. Even though Italy doesn't use those titles anymore, Edoardo's family still uses it to feel important. They also have a giant family house in Italy that used to be a monastery. Edoardo went to the best schools and got a big degree. But losing his stepfather in such a public way forced him to grow up very fast. He learned that when you are famous, you cannot show people when you are falling apart. He started a charity and did big projects to show the world he was a good and successful man. Now let's look at Edoardo's business. People in Australia trusted him with their hard-earned money. They believed in his plan to build a luxury beach club. The pictures looked beautiful and the advertisements were very convincing. It felt like a safe and great opportunity. But suddenly everything fell apart. The company went broke and the dream disappeared. The people who trusted Edoardo lost everything. They had no homes and no money left. While this was happening, Edoardo was far away at a fancy meeting in Florida, looking calm as if nothing was wrong. He started his company, Banda, when he was only 23. He used his family's rich friends to get ahead. He said he was fixing up poor parts of London, but he was actually building very expensive homes in rich areas. While many families in London were losing their homes because prices were too high, Edoardo was making more money. He kept moving forward, always looking successful and confident, no matter what was happening to the people who lost money. How did he meet Beatrice? Their families had been friends for a long time. Princess Beatrice's parents knew Edoardo's family for many years. Before Edoardo, Beatrice was with a man named Dave Clark for 10 years. But that relationship ended with no wedding. Then very quickly, Edoardo appeared. Even though he had a messy past and a young son, they started dating. In 2019, they went public as a couple. Soon, Edoardo proposed with a ring he designed himself. He worked with a jeweler who makes very strange and dark jewelry. The engagement was announced, but not everyone was happy. Some royals had doubts because the relationship moved so fast. Beatrice was planning her dream wedding, but then her father, Prince Andrew, got into huge trouble. He did a TV interview about a bad friend he had, and it was a disaster. The whole country was angry at him. Beatrice's world turned upside down just as she was supposed to be a happy bride. The wedding started falling apart. Because of her father's scandal and the COVID pandemic, the big wedding plans were canceled. On July 17, 2020, they had a very small and secret wedding. The queen was very kind and let Beatrice wear one of her old dresses and a famous crown. It was a quiet way to show Beatrice was still loved. Prince Andrew was there to walk her down the aisle, but he was not in the official photos because they didn't want people to be mad. After the wedding, things were still hard. They lived in a palace for a while, but it felt uneasy because the royal family was withdrawing support for her father. Beatrice kept working at a big company, but her boss got into trouble for being mean to women. Beatrice and Edoardo stayed silent about it. In 2022, after the queen died, they moved to a farmhouse in the country. It was a beautiful place, but they lost their biggest protector when the queen passed away. In 2025, their second baby, Athena, was born much too early. It was a very scary and horrifying night at the hospital. Beatrice was terrified, but she found strength in the pain. She now works with a charity to help other tiny babies survive. This royal story is full of ups and downs. It is about a couple trying to look perfect while dealing with scandals, business failures, and scary health problems. What do you think about the truth behind Princess Beatrice's husband? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more stories like this one. Success and fame can hide many things, but the truth always has a way of coming out in the end. Thank you for watching and being part of our community. We will see you in the next video as we continue to uncover the secrets of the world's most famous families. Stay tuned for more.